Like, this whole thing is loose now. This piece down here spins freely. And it's bent quite badly, but before we get into that, let's start at the beginning. Alright, I am picking up the Fiat in Orlando, Florida. There she is. That's exactly what she looked like when I dropped her off.
Alright, awesome. Alright, so
Has to get shipped with an almost empty tank, so I brought this. There's about 2 gallons in here, which is a third of a tank. Alright, so I'm pretty impressed. Getting low on fuel now, but it only had like 2.5 gallons in it, so the engine's still pretty hot, obviously. I've been holding it right there on the indicated 90 kilometer an hour mark, which is an actual GPS 53 miles per hour. And she's been just cruising still, getting passed by literally everyone. Got Beth and Allie back there. But got some cloud cover at the moment, which is great because it's hot today. 103 is the high today. So yeah, it's hot. Pretty sure Florida's planning to get real nasty here in a second. Finally, after over 2 months, she's home. Good morning. So the valves clatter, especially going into 3rd and 4th and especially 5th gears. It was getting a little bit too much. Not really there until the engine gets hot, but once it's hot, then it was pretty consistent. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a valve adjustment today. Already took off the 2. There's 2 little bolts on top of the rocker cover, or nuts. When you take off spark wires like I did so that they're not in the way here, just make sure you know which one goes to which. For me, I used a little piece of tape on there and a piece of tape right there. For a regular 499cc engine here, you're going to use that one. The 0.15 millimeter. And so what you're going to do is stick it underneath there and feel that it should have a little bit of slip when you push it, but it shouldn't be really difficult, and it shouldn't be loose either. When the top rocker goes down, then you want to do this one. When this one goes down, you want to do that one. When this one goes down, you want to do that one. When this one goes down, do that one. Anyway, so you're going to put the car into gear, like toss it in first or something. Take the e-brake off, and then you can just pull the car with the spark plugs out. It makes it a lot easier. So now just watch for these moving. Okay, so so that one's down, which means the one in the back is ready to be adjusted. Okay, so I found that that one is a little bit too tight. I think that one was also a little bit too tight. That one's a little bit too loose. So the back one's perfect though. Let's get an 11 and go ahead and loosen that. once you get that loose, keep track of where this this little edge right here, the orientation of it, because even just a small little rotation can make a difference here. So when you're loosening this, try to make sure that that's not spinning with it. Once you get this loosened up a little bit, then spin that in whichever direction you need to loosen it or tighten it just a little bit. If this does try to turn with the nut, just make sure that they are spinning together, and then once you can rotate them individually, then just very, very carefully track how far it turns. For instance, I just loosened this one by about 1/8 of a turn, and then tighten the nut back down, and now the gap here that was really tight is pretty loose, so I need to tighten it back down a little bit. You're talking like 1/10, maybe 1/12 of a turn. Just a few degrees makes a big difference here. If the engine sounds a little bit weird, it's because our neighbor is running his lawnmower and they sound very similar. One really unfortunate thing about this car in the States like this is there's a lot of just racing from light to light, and that means accelerating kind of hard. I mean, for this car, accelerating very hard and then braking very hard over and over and over again. It's honestly, it's really hard on the car, so definitely need to do that brake upgrade sooner than later. The car does not like the valve adjustments I made. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Alright, so just a little bit more fiddling, and I see that this is loose. Like, this whole thing is loose now. And this piece down here spins freely. These ones, it's tight. Well, that one's not so much, but that's a whole lot of play there. And I am really concerned about what that might mean. I have no idea. Time to go to the forums.